I'm Larry Menti. Welcome to Jersey Matters. The controversial Shark River dredging process is finally going to start, and here to talk more about that is Genevieve Clifton, who is the manager of the New Jersey Department of Transportation Office of Maritime Resources. Thank you for being here. And Michael Bascom, who is the Chief Financial Officer of Neptune Township. I said controversial because there was some politics, and we'll get to that in a second. But I want to back up and just start from the beginning. Let's just start with, for people that are watching in other areas, where Shark River is. We'll start with the easy part.
Sure. Shark River is in the community of Belmar, Wall, Neptune Township, Neptune and Avon area down the Jersey Shore. One of many inlets along the coast they're heavily utilized by many of our boaters and recreational fishing community. And dredging it is important. Why, Michael?
Well, there's economic, environmental, and public safety reasons as to why it's important to dredge the channels. What we're dredging right now are the navigational channels. Right now, at low tide, many boats can't traverse in and out from the back bay area. The public safety-wise, there's often boats getting stuck, jet skiers being injured as a result of the muck in the river, the inability to cut through. And then obviously the economic impact of hundreds and hundreds of boats, commercial boats, pleasure boats and whatnot that support the economy in that.
The muck is so bad that jet skiers having problems on it?
Well, we like to call it sediment. and since Superstorm Sandy, but for years before that, the state channels had started to silt in, and Superstorm Sandy exacerbated that siltation rate by about 30%. And since then, the channel has started to close, if you will, with material to the extent that, yes, at certain tides, particularly at low and mid tides, boaters are getting grounded. Some of the kids out in their sailboats have gotten grounded, especially if you're near the edge of the channel. So it's been a real problem.
And you've been talking about doing this, you told me, since 2004. What's been the holdup?
Actually, the first discussions were in the late 90s, and when the township started to acquire property along the riverfront in an effort to leverage that to have the river dredged. I think around 2004 is when the state really came in and started to lead the process for us. What held it up? There's a long process of permitting, identifying sites for drying the material, a process for procurement. Anytime you bring 5 municipalities, the county and the state together, there's certainly going to be a lot of discussions moving forward.
And Genevieve, I understand why you want to call it sediment and not muck, because when you're a municipality, I guess you don't mind getting sediment. Muck's a whole different thing.
That's right. We prefer not to have muck.
Yes. And that's been the holdup, right? What to do with the material that you dredge up and where you put it and where you dry it to dispose of it. Is that the way you say it?
That's right. Dredging and the material that then comes out of the channel has to be managed somewhere. So you have the material that's full of water as you dredge it. That water needs to flow off so the material can be into a dry condition. Usually that takes space. And space is at a premium, as you know, in New Jersey, especially at the New Jersey Shore. So the department's challenge was to be able to design a project that we could manage that dredge material coming out of the channels in a very small footprint, because we simply didn't have a lot of room. And then the county, who's been a great partner in this, is going to be able to beneficially use the material at the Monmouth County Reclamation Center for daily cover. So,
but was that most of the holdup? Just where to do this and where to put it and how it was going to be done?
Yeah, it's a space issue, and it was a challenge to work out. Dredging itself is easy, right? We can dredge almost anything, but when you have 100,000 cubic yards of material in a highly urbanized area, it's hard to be able to find the space to operate that sort of project. So now that we've been able to do that, we've been able to move forward.
And Michael, is it just space, or is there a concern about what might be down there and what's in this stuff?
I think we addressed any concerns about the sediment early on. I don't think there was really an issue in regard to what the potential contamination or anything along that line. That was never really the issue. The issue was really space. It was identifying the location. Early on, traditional dredging, I believe you need acres and acres to dry this material. And unfortunately, if you look around the Shark River, there's very few places where you have acres and acres available to do that type of work. So we had to find a a better way to do it in a smaller area.
So all the controversy is over now. Is that right? Am I safe to say that you're not going to have any problems, political problems at least, from some of the municipalities?
Well, I would say we've been working very closely with our partners, with the municipalities around Shark River Bay, as well as the county, and our goal is to conduct the project as efficiently as possible and minimize local impacts to the community. I mean, you know, that's the goal. We've given that goal to the contractor to try to make sure we get this done as quickly as possible, as safely as possible, and without, you know, creating undue impacts to the community.
You didn't give me a yes that it's all over, so I assume there must be something hanging out there.
Confident.
No, I think there's still work to do, but I think clearly all the governing body of all the municipalities that are involved, especially the 4 that are involved in the area that will be dredged, they're all on board. The county freeholders are on board. Our state legislators are on board. Republican and Democrat across the board are working together to make this work.
So when's it going to start?
So the department has just moved to award the project, and over the next few weeks we'll be finalizing our procurement, moving towards a notice to proceed. So it will be up to the contractor as to when he chooses to begin the project. We're hoping for this fall. We'll see. But the project has to absolutely be complete by December 31st of 2016.
So the sooner they start, the better, because they have to have it finished by a certain point. What were you going to say?
It's 2017, just wanted to clear, right?
2016.
16,
Yep.
wow. It's news to me.
And also, she got you to stop saying muck at the same time.
Absolutely, I'll never say muck again.
So that was good. So what are the details of this now? Where is everything going to be dried? What sites are you going to use? Do we know all that?
We do. The project is designed, and as of now, we're working with the contractor to finalize those details, but he'll be using a small area of space on Seaview Island, and then a small piece of the Belmar Municipal Marina parking lot.
So this is all, it's going to be finished by the date she just mentioned a moment ago that you both agreed on. And so, and what will that mean to the area? I know you told me what the benefits were going to be, but will there be an immediate benefit? Will there be an economic immediate benefit? Do you have people that are all ready to go?
I believe so. I think there'll be a very positive immediate impact, especially knowing the date of December 31st of this year. I think in the minds of those locally, they were conditioned that the end of next year was good enough. You know, they were happy that it was going to happen, but the end of this year is obviously.
End of 2016.
Oh, I'm sorry, that is next year.
Yeah.
So we're conditioned for this. 2016. I'm moving fast. Sorry.
This has all just happened, right? That's why there might be a little bit of confusion, because this just happened.
Yes.
And
literally just stepped off of a conference call in regard to that.
Yeah.
So the end of 2016, and it's going to start possibly in the next month?
Next few weeks. Yeah.
Next few weeks? Wow. So after all this, it's going to be dredged, and then you've got some businesses along the Shark River that are already probably interested in bringing in new business?
You have restaurants located around the river. I know Belmar has a restaurant that's ready to build or expand on their side. I know you have the Shark River Yacht Club and the Shark River Hills Marina that are both currently under construction after being destroyed by Sandy. This is a huge benefit to them. There's a number of slips that have gone unrented along the river, mainly because people were unable to traverse out to the ocean. I expect that will come back, and just having that massing, that summer tourism benefit is a huge benefit for all 4 municipalities.
And many of these things that you're talking about, they've been waiting for this?
Absolutely.
Well, that's wonderful. And thanks for breaking news here. I appreciate it. All right, Genevieve, thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. Michael, nice to meet you. Thanks for breaking news here. Genevieve Clifton, who is the manager of the New Jersey Department of Transportation Office of Maritime Resources, and Michael Bascom, who is the CFO of Neptune Township. We'll be right back.